Are you young in soul and body, still not covered by your great homeland, earning a lot of money and want to drive a tight, hard, soundy car, or a BMW X6 or a Mercedes GLC AMG? You don't feel like it? Then, perhaps, you will know your dream together with Infiniti FX. To understand, how can this crossover become a replacement for the Nimtzi, savagely to the Vlasnik model, you can hear what the stench is talking about your car. Previously, Infiniti FX was shown at the New York Auto Show in 2002 in a Rossi, a car equipped with exhausted V6 and V8, oriented to the American market. And just like this model, Infiniti actively expanded into the markets of the old world. Technically, the crossover with the factory code S50 was prompted on the rear-wheel drive platform of Infiniti FM with the later placement of the power unit and having removed the upper drive, a new independent suspension and later engines. ALS, a friend of the Infiniti FX generation, factory code S51, which appeared in 2008 Rossi. Until this hour, the model has gained old-world popularity, and the concern has shifted the focus of market activity from Pivnik North America to Europe. Geneva was chosen as the maiden for the premiere show. In front of the front, the car slid down the V-like 3.5-liter Shift VQ35HR, but the stiffness of the engine was increased from 280 to 307 ks. A new V8 VK50V has been registered under the hood with a pressure of 400 ks, and in 2009, the Rossi Dinov Motors has added a European V6 VQ37 VHR by 3.7 liters and 333 ks in pairs with these engines. The classic 7-speed hydro-mechanical gearboxes RE7R01A, with 3.5 and 3.7-liter shifts, and RE7R01B, with 5-wheel V8, were used. In addition, the front suspension was radically redesigned, the MV first and struts were replaced by A-like important twins. In 2010, the engine range was upgraded with a V-shaped 6-cylinder V9X turbo diesel with a volume of 3.0 liters, a building development of 238 hours.p. 550 Nm of torque. This engine, designed specifically for European markets, became the first diesel engine on Infiniti cars. The entire line of the Infiniti FX family is small and rich in equipment, and the FX50S version was equipped with an active rear-wheel steering system. The history of the FX model ended in 2014. The car removed the QX designation and launched 3 more years. In fact, the car has not changed, so everything said below can be extrapolated to the QX70. First, take a decision about the arrival of the FX. For the sake of opening 5 doors, respectfully look at the baggage allowance and reconsider, which is more like a compact hatchback, a total of 376 liters. Do not quiet the Vlasniks and the room in the salon, especially the other row. Ale, the most confusing configuration and the size of the rear doors are vous couvert. Protégé 100% of the Vlasniks are satisfied with their comfort at the salon. We are forward, for water and front passengers. The first generation of FX, S50, was characterized by the problem of GOMs in general and golem discs of the cream, and it migrated to another generation. Skarsatsia on the weak efficiency and insufficiency. To be brought either to work steadily on the grinding of golem discs and the replacement of golem pads, or to buy sports kits of golem on the front wheels. And the FX50 axle shows another problem. Here, at 60% wear of the pads, the lamp of the galvanic system malfunction blinks, with which the galvanic rods remain normal. And all for nothing. But after a few seconds, the stabilization of that mechanism of steering the rear wheels turns on. Another problem, which is associated with gasoline atmospheric engines VQ35HR and VQ37VHR, is oil channel gaskets. Approximately up to 200,000 kilometers, gaskets can be seen with the onset of inevitable oil starvation and important consequences. The engine is starting to drive in by itself, and the crankshaft pulley will sound like a final chord. Everything is tightened by the fact that the engine does not mess up the sensors equal to olive oil, and you can evaluate its presence even if you just stare under the hood and pull out the probe. At the Bagatio Vidga Kazorska PDVska Infiniti FX. The price is less than the assessment of the hardness. And the axis of the frontal slopes of the Vlasniks Vahayut over at Myakim go with cracks, as if they look like small stones. The situation worsened in those that the designers moved in the direction of the nozzles of the Omavac on the Skleokniks. Like on the first generation of FX, there the country was right on the Gomki, which included a spread of waving dry slopes. On machines of the S51 generation, nozzles of the same type should be installed, which stench is not of the highest rank. It is more important that the Vlasniks know that under the hood of these cars there is a whole herd to sit under the hood, and you need to be born. Ale satisfied with the low cost of the diesel FX30D. And the axis of the Vlasniki FX35 Vid Vertu Vidnosti Vitrata Palni to Sut V-V. Vano and Srosamilo, tightness is less, dynamics is higher, lower in FX37, and more lower in FX50, and bitrate may be the same. In principle, everyone is ready to settle on the figure of 17 liters, 100 kilometers, but it's a bit more solid, but it's much more. And the axis of the 5-wheel FX50, as a rule, is not particularly discussed. They knew where to go. Apparently, and bitrate close to 20 liters, 100 kilometers are accepted by them calmly. With the greatest honor of the Infiniti FX, the owners of all models of the family vahayut nad and SD and zapavnyayut, that with regular maintenance the car can go up to 300,000 kilometers without any serious repairs. And all the same, cars are entering the market with summative documents, with a twisted run, and simply driven in, if you want to take such cars yourself in order to drive them, and to drive them in the tail, in the main, far from Zavjdatermayuyachi's rules of service. And when you buy, you should seriously turn the car into a crime. Many cars were often stolen, interrupted by bin, and issued false documents. Svachano, you can bring to the tune and driven in copy, ale savy magatim velmi serious contributions. To take care of bringing the automatic car to the Meije new camp, we would have pleased less of them, who have the most majestic mother of the same car, who can do a lot of self-working operations, ready to spend an hour on the search for the necessary components at a remarkably affordable price. And to the one who overcomes all the problems, takes away for his work a solid wine city, Swedish, tight, and stylish car, which not only gives drivers emotions, but for a long time does not need a special contribution.